Alright people, today we're going to tally up the total water that came out of the system. I'm starting with the 10-gallon propane tank. As I said before, when you're capturing water, you're capturing tar. Now granted, some of this is ash that's in here too, but this stuff is almost, it is the color Coca-Cola or pancake syrup. That's right at 4 cups right there, just out of this. And I'm hoping that you guys can see this like I'm seeing it. I'm going to go over here to the camera and see if I can help you see this. So I'm going to zoom down on this. I want you to see the color of this. It's literally the color of Coca-Cola. I think this is important because this kind of drives the point home that I'm saying that there's a lot of tar in this liquid right here, a lot. So here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to catch the brown color of it. That's 4 cups right there. Now I'm going to get rid of this and we're going to measure the rest of it. So 4 cups so far. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tally up the rest of this and see what this winds up being. You ever bought liquid smoke for grilling with? That's what this stuff smells like, literally, like liquid smoke that you buy when you go to grill out with. Okay. Make it almost 4.5 cups, not quite, but right at it. The next stop, let's take a look at the mason jar. Zoom in on this. This is how I learn about how the system works and where everything is moving around in it, because it's the only way if you want to get a real idea of what's happening. Okay, here we go. Notice this is a lighter color too. And you can see there's particulates in this that wash through. Right at just a little bit under 2 cups. So far we've pulled 6 cups out of the system. I'm going to put the mason jar back on. Now we're going to start looking at filters. Alright, we're going to take a look at the first filter tube here. This is the one that contains the stainless steel scouring pads. We're going to see how much water captured in this. Oh, notice that. The water's a little bit cleaner, but yet there's water there. Okay. I'm going to get the measuring cup and we'll take a look at this. Right at 1 cup. Alright, this one contains the wood chip filter. This is the second major part of the filter that's in line. I accidentally tipped over the screen in there. No big deal. Because all I'm going to do is just do this number right here. Pull these off to the side. Regardless, not that much water at all. I won't have this catastrophe with the third filter just because of the type of medium that's in it. Shoot, man. I'm going to say about 1/4 of a cup of water, just taking a guess at it, okay? And like the other one, the water's actually a little bit clearer. So it keeps getting clear as it goes along. Believe it or not, a 1/2 cup of water. Look at what came out of the third one. I don't even need this. And it's kind of funny because each time the water gets consecutively clearer as it comes out of each filter. Look at that. Look at that, right at a cup, just barely below it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this guy here. We're going to start examining filter medium. I think I'll start with the wood chips since they're already pouring out. I'm going to back the camera off. This may kind of get a little messy, and I don't know how much you're going to be able to see on the video versus what I see real time here because I'm up here with it. But okay, I'm going to tell you right now, these wood chips are definitely browner than when they were the last time I'd done this. When, if you remember my buckets, when I would clean them off, I would always grab that ball of goo and throw it to the side. And I said, hey man, the wood chips look like they were still clean, a little bit of brown. Well, these are extremely brown compared to how they come out of the 5-gallon pail. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you something to look at here. There's that. I'm going to zoom in here too so that you can see exactly what I'm seeing. Now hopefully this will make sense to you. I'm going to give you a side-by-side comparison. So these definitely did better filtering. Let's see if you can see that. Absolutely. By the way, as I was running this, the longer it ran, the better the flame burned. As far as purity goes, as I said in the video I was demonstrating, after about 30 minutes, it's like the filters had to actually, I don't know whether they were capturing moisture in the medium and that was helping capturing with the tars and whatnot, but I noticed after the filters got warmed up, when the flame went solid blue, that was it. It never fluctuated, people. I mean, it looked like natural gas. I ran the test for 4.5 hours. About 30 minutes over, because I took in the equation that I heated this thing up for a little bit, you know, for about 15 minutes, and so it may have been more than that, because I considered running the test with the filters for at least 4 hours minimum, maybe some change over that. But you know, like I said, you can see it here, the difference in the medium. No doubt about it that it absolutely did a fabulous job of cleaning up. Once again, I'm going to pause and we're going to look at the polyester fiber. There we go, just about there, people. I think this is important because I think this speaks volumes of how well this filter medium worked. There you go. I'm going to zoom in on this, and then I'm going to show you a comparison of the before and after what it looked like. Once again, cheap polyester fiber. This stuff was snow white. I thought I had a bigger piece here, but that's all right. I think you'll be able to tell the difference when you look at it. I'm trying to do something that other people in YouTube videos don't do. Everybody wants to concentrate on showing how good they got theirs burning, or this, that, and the other. And what I want to show everybody is different filter mediums, what to expect out of it, what you're going to see filter-wise. Because to me, man, this is the way you learn stuff. This is how you learn how to do something a better way versus doing it the way everybody else does it. So there you go. This stuff here, the good thing about it, because it is a plastic in all reality, that could be put into a 5-gallon bucket, because that's all I had in the tube. Now next time I run it, I'll use a little bit more. That could be put into a 5-gallon bucket with some probably either Clorox or some good hard soap detergent, and let it soak overnight. You could have like 2 or 3 bundles of this where you recycled it all the way around. Because going back to the videos before, you never know what's going to happen, where it's going to happen, or why it happened. But you may be where your ass is in a sling, and going up to the store and buying wood pellets or buying this, that, or the other is not your option. So, you know, as far as straw or wood chips, yeah, that's a renewable medium if you're living in the right area or you know the right people. So you can always get your hands on that. This polyester fiber here, you know, there's lots of it. If you live near cotton mills or something, you can find this stuff where they trash a lot of this stuff, okay? And, you know, I just went and bought this. I got a small bag of this just for about $2, and I know I could do these tubes at least 5 times over what I did right here easily. But so far, to me, this appears to be one of the really fine, really good filter mediums, okay? So I'm going to set this aside. We're going to look at the steel wool now. And Techno Freak came up with this idea. He said, hey, look, this is good for capturing tar with, so let's take a look here. And I think he may be right on this. It's going to make a mess and go everywhere, but that's all right. Got to keep these things separate. I don't have any clean steel wool to go by, but trust me, this stuff was silver. It was completely silver when I put it in there. So yeah, this actually did a good job capturing too. This probably captured some more of the heavy tars and particulates. No doubt about that. But there you go. I'm going to see if you can still see this in the camera. Yes, you can. Alright guys, let's take a look at the paper filter here. I already know what this looks like. So let's get this out of here. Have to bear with me. I made these things where they'd seal good without having to use any kind of screws or anything, and I was going to use screws to hold everything together, and I'll share everything that I did with you guys though. I don't think I need to tell you what color a paper towel is, and look, there's more water. Now I think this did a hell of a good job of catching tar. I'm going to tell you why. I just didn't see, like I said, when that flame warmed up, that was it. That was it, Jack. I mean, when that flame went blue, if what they say, you know, everybody that builds these things tells you if you got a blue flame, you're on your way to fame, well then, that's the case, then, you know I had clean gas. And there you go, that's the filter. You won't be able to see down the side of it, but the beauty of this is I made this filter where you can turn back around and pull it off. Okay? There it is. Everything I built up here, I made it where it was everything could be changed out and interchanged out on it really quick. Now something I'm going to do different to this is I'm going to make both sides removable, because I got this side where it's glued on, but I'm going to make another piece where they're both removable, self-sealable, because this will seal once it's put together, it won't fall apart. And when I put this in here this time, I'll probably turn back around and loose pack it with some sort of filler around this to help capture more water. Even though my flame burnt good, I would rather do that just because I feel that it would make, you know, the filter work a little bit more efficient, and it also allowed to get some more water out of it. And I'm going to show you something here. I mean, you see all the filtering that I went through. Okay. I wanted you to see the color of the water. Okay. It's just a little bit brown, and the tar's a funny animal, and you know, it moves around in the system in mysterious, strange ways. There's no doubt about that. But I think this paper filter caught a lot of it. I think this was the final part of the equation. Let's look inside of it here. Because like I said, I rolled this up, and yeah, I think it caught a lot of it. I think it helped a hell of a lot in the cleaning up of it. So there you go, people. And the blue flame stayed blue all night long. Like I said, it no problems with a burn. And where I was seeing with this unit that I built up was, anytime that I would add fuel to it, because I'd get over here, you'd see me poking it with a stick to clean it, to knock stuff down in it, because it's a tight tube, being a 4-inch tube. Whenever I would load this thing up with fuel, every now and then it would hit. You would see that fuel hit it, and that flame would jump up about another 6 inches in height because it was hitting that fresh fuel, especially if I let it get down where there's too many coals in it, okay? And it's like for about 4 or 5 minutes there, you know, it would take it a couple of minutes to stabilize, because you get that big giant flame. Then I guess what would happen is those red hot coals would settle on that mass in there, and then it would start burning clean again, okay, or cleaner. Well, I noticed this even with all my builds, but with this build, with these filters, that never happened. That's what I'm saying when I say the flame stayed steady blue. Once these filters warmed up, that was it. It didn't matter what I stuck in there. You know, I could have stuck my head down that tube if it had fit, and it wasn't going to change the color of that gas. Now, I think it's not that the filters got warmed up. This is what I think, just from my observations. I think that when this filter medium gets a little bit of humidity and moisture on it, whether it's hot or cold, that allows stuff to stick to it, that when it's bone dry, the smokes and stuff can just go by it, okay? So what I'm thinking is happening is, as this stuff picked up moisture, I think the water aided into this, in helping clean this. But the bottom line is, the gas that I run on the last test, which was New Year's Eve, I wouldn't be afraid to put this in any motor, because I knew what was coming out of it. And you guys have looked at the video and you knew what was coming out of it. And it was steady like that all night. But there it is, everybody. So I'll be doing this test again. I want to confirm everything that I've seen. I want to see that I get another, what I consider a 4-hour clean burn. And once I do that, I'm going to give you guys everything, everything you need to know how to build this system as far as filtering goes. Okay, then you can take it, you can modify it, and do it your own way. And I'm going to show you how I cut the holes and stuff, because I had to make sure all this stuff was airtight. It wasn't going to bust loose. And I'll have to cover this in a video for you, because you're not going to go find hole saws that cut perfect holes for these pieces of pipe. It's all, they got all these different sizes, but none of them match up, because you wind up with something that's either too big or too small. So basically, in a nutshell, I cut the holes too small, and then I took a torch, regular propane torch, turned it on super low, and went around that small hole, and I went like this with it. And I didn't let the plastic burn. I'd done this with it, and I'd stop and touch my finger when it got pliable. Then I would screw this in about halfway, and I would let it cool down. And what it did is it self-threaded. And when it cooled down completely, you could just unscrew it. It's like they were made for each other. And then I put the wood, then I put the pipe glue on them, screwed them in there, and it was an absolute seal. I actually hooked this whole system up to a vacuum cleaner, and pulled a vacuum on it, went around it with an incense lit. I wish I'd have videotaped that, but I didn't. But I took an incense and walked around with them, and this is how I test the stuff. You've heard me talk about in past videos. I said I was pressure checking stuff. Basically what I do is walk around it with an incense or something and see if it sucks smoke in. If it does, then I know I got an issue and it's got to be fixed. And rest assured, I don't want flashbacks, I don't want blowbacks, and I don't want other issues. So I made sure my stuff is sealed, and this is why I tell you guys, when you build these things, make sure everything's sealed. Alright everybody, I'm going to share something with you that I think is absolutely worth having in your arsenal. And before I tell you what it is, first I just want you to see it. So let's walk over here. And I'm going to explain as we go along. I'm going to zoom in on it. That's the first piece. Second piece. Third piece. Fourth piece. The fifth piece. The sixth piece, and the seventh piece. Let's go back to the first one. Alright, what you're looking at here is the polyester fiber that came out of my filter tube that I ran the other night. That's 4 hours of smoke passing through that, and this is unclean. This is exactly how it came out of it. Now we're going to look at a piece that's brand new that's never had anything on it. Right there. Now, I'm going to show you what I used to clean some of this stuff with and the results I got with it. Here's the first piece. That came the cleanest out of all of it. That was with OxyClean. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's something you can buy pretty cheap. A little tub of it goes a long ways. Okay. The second piece, I used industrial dishwashing liquid. I'm talking the stuff they use in restaurants. Okay. This piece here, I used laundry detergent on it. And this next piece, I soaked it in Clorox. The next piece right here, I used Fantastic and Formula 409. Every piece was subject to the same amount of clean time. I cleaned them all the same way. I handled it all the same way. The Formula 409 didn't do anything. The Clorox damn well didn't. The dishwashing liquid and everything else, laundry detergent, was just useless, man. As soon as I put this guy here into that OxyClean, I mean, it just, the stuff that was on it, all the goo and everything fell right off of it. And it actually smells clean. It pulled a lot of the smoke smell off of it. And I was pretty amazed because it actually feels almost the way it does before you use it. Okay, so there you go. If you're not sure what OxyClean is, I'm going to show you what it is. For those of you that may not know what I'm talking about, that's what you clean your filter material with. You know, other than your wood chips naturally, but if you're using any kind of Brillo pads or any other medium that's plastic based or whatever that can be cleaned, your tubes, there you go, that's what you use. So that's what I'm talking about why I make these videos. This is useful information and it should go a long ways with you. Not only did it do good cleaning this, but I'm going to show you some Brillo pads. There's a Brillo pad brand new out of the package, same stuff I used. There's the one that I cleaned with the same thing, OxyClean. And here's one that came right out of the tube, okay? Made an absolute difference. So now put this information somewhere where you're not going to lose it. You know what you can use to clean your filter medium with. Because as I said in the other videos, you never know when it's going to come from, if it's going to come, what direction it's going to come. You may find yourself in a position that you just got to use what you got to use for filters and for fuel. And it's always good to know that you can clean your filter medium if you're not using just one type. So there you go. This will work on steel wool. It'll definitely work on the polyester fiber. So that means it'll work on other stuff too if it's you know, if it's stuff that's non-organic. So there you go. On that note, I'm going to pause back out. Alright everybody, I hope you found this video informative and that you walk away from this with some more insight on the gasifier topic. As I've said in past videos, I'm keeping everything that I'm doing open source. I'm not trying to make money off of this. I'm just trying to come up with something that's going to be a really good product for myself. And in the meantime, I'm willing to share this with anybody else out there that wants to try it. I'm going to do a couple more tests with my system. I can see a couple things that I want to tweak on it. Nothing major. And I'll run another burn test or two. And if I see the same results, good results, I'll go ahead and make another video. And I'm going to give you guys the complete build, including the parts list, everything you need to build this thing and get up and running the first time. I'll also show you how I cut the holes in the pieces that weren't made for each other so that you get an absolute seal on things so that odd parts that weren't made to work together will marry together and work perfect the first time for you. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because I want to keep this part of the video short. And as always, do me a favor. Rate the video, let me know what you think, and if you got anything you want to share with me, do it on the blog or you can send me something to an email. It really doesn't matter. So on that note, hope you guys have a good evening. Flash 001 USA, and I'm going to turn this camera off. Good night, everybody.